Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. That's our 2011 Toyota. It's the Sienna. It's four-wheel drive. It's got the big 3.5, and the rear Viscous coupler is screaming for dear life. There's a bearing in it that's gone bad. Now, doing this through Toyota, they want you to buy the entire Viscous coupler. It turns it into almost a $2,000 job, but the fact of the matter is there's just a single bearing in there that's going bad. I think I have the right bearing. At least I hope I do. If not, we're gonna have to tear it apart and wait till tomorrow to get the right one, hopefully. But let's take the coupler out of it. Let's see if we can separate it and see if that front bearing that I have is the correct one and see if we can't get it fixed. It's interesting to me that the OEMs don't want these fixed. You know, they don't offer, you know, parts per se, but you can actually still get the bearing from Toyota if you know the number. But they don't show any breakdown on this in you know, Toyota's parts catalog. So get the skid plate off here first and foremost. Housing's not super corroded or something here. The old aluminum, it doesn't like salt. Doesn't look horrible. I've seen worse, I guess. Now, I've never done one of these on a Sienna. I think we've had other videos maybe a long time ago doing one on a, perhaps we did one on a Kia, I think, a Sportage maybe, and we've done like, I think we did a Toyota Matrix and a Vibe or something like that. Pretty sure we've done some Viscous coupler videos. So the vehicle is in neutral at this point, in case you're wondering. Push comes to shove, I guess we could always put a coupler in it if we have to. But this thing is super, super loud. It's funny, driving it down the road, you just barely get a little hum out of it. Enough to where if you're paying attention, you're like, you know, what's that noise? But when we ran it on the lift, had it over on the alignment rack and jacked it up and ran it, I mean, this thing is super, super loud, which is really bizarre. It doesn't make more noise going down the road. I don't know. I don't know if we got to pull the support bearings here. Let me get a pry bar, see if we can pry this back a little bit. I don't know if we'll clear the studs or not. I'm thinking probably not. But maybe. Oops. Got my watch. Oh, it's gonna be snug. Probably should just pull the center support bearing. There's a couple of them on this car. But we'll see here. Look at that. Make sure you mark that and all that stuff if you feel inclined to do so. They're not balanced as an assembly, so at the end of the day it doesn't really matter. But you do what you feel is correct. What makes you feel happy. It's like a vent hose here. Fix that now before I forget. I tore the rubber there a little bit. So there, that's fixed. And then we have a connector here. Kumbaya, mother lover. I don't have enough lead in my pencil and my little fingers right now to do that. Those are 14 mil. Let me go get get something perhaps to get this connector. Let me see if I can. I don't believe there's a lock in it. Thought I had it. Forget about it. Forget about it. My head's probably right in your way, I'm guessing. But just picture a guy trying to unhook a connector. There it is. There's what it is. I use my connector pliers. Look at those guys. These ones have a Mac tool label on them. I believe Lyle makes them, is who makes the connector pliers. They're pretty handy if you have arthritis and carpal tunnel and whatnot. And your phalanges don't phalange anymore. There's one bolt. 2 bolts. We'll leave the third one in there a wee bit. I don't think it's gonna fall off and hit the floor, but we like to play it safe. Safety first is what we always say. Ish. Boom. Boom, boom. Whoa, she's peeing. I don't have a bucket ready. Could be a pinion seal in there. But this does have 180,000 miles on it, I think. Into our last bolt, I'll go get us a pan. Oh, we left that threaded in a ways, huh? Come here, you Viscous little coupler, you. Oh, okay, yeah, the pinion seal is what seals against the inside of this coupler there. And then I believe this is the bearing in here that we're going after. Well, I mean, I know the bearing's in there that we're going after, but, well, you know what I mean. Doesn't really do it any justice. First thing first, we need to get this connector out of here. Please don't break, please don't break. Say a little chant. Oh, thank you for not breaking. Must be all the years of fluid film soaking. This thing is pretty saturated in the fluid film underneath. It's kept the car from rusting away on them. We need to wiggle this connector off from its little holder here. Which I'm sure this has a bit of rust under it, so typically you would just pick up on this little tab here. And if you lived in Florida, where you don't need all-wheel drive, we're going to kind of tweak this a little bit, it would just slip right off. But we don't live in Florida. See if we can't grab a hold of this little sucker. Don't break on me, baby. This guy, here's a guy who doesn't want to break it off. I'm gonna turn the camera off. We're going with plan B. Always have a plan B. Remove the center. I just bent it up and around. We just got to get the wires out at the end of the day. I don't want to break this housing because I doubt I can buy it. Let me get a pick. We're going to pick it apart. It's just a magnetic coupler. It doesn't matter. I don't believe it matters which way they go. I doubt there's a diode or anything in here. Maybe we'll mark them just in case. There's a little paint marker here. Paint marker that one up, and that one went on that side of the housing there. Put a little mark there. I'm 95% certain it doesn't matter. Reach in here, we'll hit the release tab. We'll pull it out, so now we don't have to worry about getting the housing off. We'll stick our wires back in and retweak it, if you will. Because we have to pull those wires up through here. It's probably the hardest part of the whole job, is my guess. That's my guess. Get rid of some of the silicone. There we go. Now we can see the rubber. Get the wires kind of tweaking up through there a little bit. Okay, I believe this whole rubber grommet here, just kind of work around it. I believe the whole thing will come loose. Oh, let me see. I tell you what, before I do any damage, like I say, you can't get parts for these, so that's the difficult thing here. I don't believe that those wires just pull through that. Let me see if I can very gingerly just kind of manipulate this around. Get this rubber grommet to come up with the wires. There she goes. Ooh, a baby is born. There's that rubber grommet. Is there two of them? I don't believe so. Let's look on the front. Tiny little hole. That feels like silicone or something in there. Yeah, that's literally nothing. So we're gonna have to do one wire at a time, especially with the insulators and stuff on them. There's one, and there's two. And there's our rubber grommet. There's our one with our paint mark on it. You just gonna sneak by us, not say anything there, Mrs. O?
I didn't want to interrupt you.
That's okay.
It sounded serious.
It's pretty freaking serious over here. We're doing the undoable, the impossible.
Oh yeah.
Well, no,
Maybe.
Depends. If I screw it up, then we'll delete the video. No one will ever know, and they'll still think I'm a genius. That's the beauty of YouTube. You always show them what you want. Right? Mm-hmm. As far as they know, I'm wonderful.
But I live with you.
But you live with me, you know the truth. And these people can't handle the truth.
You're super wonderful.
Oh, whatever. There's a bearing here at the back of the coupler. I believe it's the front bearing that's gone bananas on us. And I don't believe that there's anything... Yeah, no, I don't believe there's anything that holds the coupler in other than a little bit of friction. So I've got us some friction defeating blocks here. We're going to have to be careful with this. There is a dust shield here. Let's see if I have the correct one. Appears to be the right outside diameter. Now there's the part number on that, right from Toyota. 44010. This they do list in the Toyota service book. This is the only part they list for this coupler. It's this dust shield, which appears that we have the right one. That's got a big old dinger in it. Let me get a screwdriver, pop that baby off. We'll get it off or mess it up real good. Or both. It's like trying to open a can of POR 15 after you've used it once. running out of leverage. When you're done being nice, easy. Tough guy, huh? I don't want to break our wires or mess them up, so we'll stick it on the side, like so. Hey! Shoo! We got you now, boy. Our big bearing that we're after is right out here. Go back up on our blocks. Got to make sure that when we whack on it, we have enough room for the coupler to come down. Now it's only going to come down a little bit because it'll hit our bench. But that's okay. We just want to see it start moving. Just a whisper. Oh, did it separate a little? I can't tell. We're about flush with that pin, so we'll use that as our guide. Yep, she's coming. I think. Coming, baby? Yeah, she's right to the edge. Living on the edge. Let's make sure we still have room. Yeah, it still has room to come down. Probably gonna get something a little more solid to make our hits a little more effective. Chunk of brass. Let's see what's happening down here. Oh yeah. So yeah, we're out past our pin now. We're cooking with fire, boys. Whoa, dude. Oh. Sounding a little bit solid now. Now we're wiggly. Okay, can't break this 100%. That's a given. We need some different blocks. Just so happen to have some right here on the ground. Oh, watch where you're going, fella. Stick this here. We're gonna go like so. Keep the other block here in the middle in case it all hits the fan. Not sure if it's okay to hit dead in the middle. It looks special, so we're gonna stay out here. Oh, look at you. That's our noisy bearing. That one that's in there. Looks like blood. Looks like blood. Oh, it's quiet. Nice and quiet that bearing is. Doesn't make a lick of a sound. Okay, we'll stick that to the side. Now he says, I should get a little smaller bench that's a little more crowded. We have this pin on there, so we need to be careful with it. Let's get this bearing. I wonder, bearing's got to come out anyways. We already bought the farm. and that didn't want to come out because of the corrosion. We'll have to clean that up because you really shouldn't have to like beat it apart. But there is your bad bearing, old son, and you can see got a little O-ring there. Hard to express that on camera. Now, the moment of truth. Do we have the right bearing? Which, ironically enough, comes directly from Toyota. Here's your part number in case it's right. That is a Niner 0363-Niner 5007. Huh? Got that from my local Hazleton Auto Mall. Not a sponsor. Expensive little bearing. Oh, hallelujah. Look at that. That looks right. The only difference is it does not have the O-ring on it. Who cares? I don't. Black side up, orange side down.
I got blue ones now.
Okay. So there's that. It appears to be the same. If it isn't, well, it's so dang close. It's so dang close. So that's it. That's how you change your bearing. Easy peasy. What I got to do now is clean up this housing. I'm going to clean out all the corrosion in here. I'm probably just going to use a little piece of a Scotch-Brite pad. This is aluminium of some sort of alloy. I assume aluminium. We're going to clean off this gobbledygook and you know, like I said, clean that out with a little piece of Scotch-Brite. You got to be careful. You don't want to go in here with some emery cloth and just go total hog wild on it, because you'll screw it all up. And I'm going to clean off the housing and make it look pretty. If anyone is curious about this inner bearing here, if you have some curiosity or want to change it, I'm not going to in this case because I mean it's smooth as butter. It is an NSK bearing. That's all it says on it is NSK, which pretty common. And there is only one number on it. It says made in Japan. And then on the opposite side here, it's a number, appears to be a 69. So it's going to be a 69er 11 Victor, or it's an 8911 Victor, or an 8811 Victor. I don't know. Let me get a magnifying glass, see if I can tell you a little better. Okay, I'm gonna say 69er 11 Victor. That's the only number on here. Made in Japan, it says. NSK, that's a November Sierra Kilo, and then there is a, appears to be a 071 in really teeny tiny letters, and that's all I see. Now I don't know if on this bearing, if they even, I don't even know if they put their numbers or anything on here. This one says NSK, made in Japan. This does have a series of numbers on it here. It is a 95 Delta Sierra Foxtrot 01, so that's a 95D SF01. I don't know if those numbers are good for anything as far as an interchange. That may be just a number on this seal. It's hard to say. This side says made in Japan. And there is, it says NSK right there. Wow, that's really tiny. That's kind of hard to see even with a magnifying glass. There is a 3-digit number, 505. And then right here we have a number as well. Looks like a 95 Delta Sierra Foxtrot 01. Was that the same thing that was on this side? I think it's gotta be similar, wouldn't it? Oh, yep, it is. So that's the same number on this side as well. So perhaps that's not a seal number. I don't see anything micro etched in the metal. So oftentimes bearing numbers will be, you know, micro etched right in the in the metal, I don't see it. I don't know if that's an NSK bearing number. Perhaps that's helpful to somebody in those numbers. But I didn't want to not tell you what I was seeing, because sometimes that's kind of useful. You watch this whole video, it's like, I wish that mother effer did that inside bearing. Oh, that's right, I gotta finish cleaning this up. I went over on the wire wheel and got the rust off there. I guess we can do that once it's together, it don't matter. Black side was up. We're gonna tippy tap that back on there, and then we'll tap the whole thing back in the housing. We will use the old bearing as our new bearing installer. Okay. At least that's the plan. That's my plan. I don't believe that is very delicate, but we will treat it as if it is. You're very delicate, man. Barely tapping it, just a little bit here. This baby getting stuck. We don't want to give it the old double bearing job. See, it's almost flush. Heard it change tone. That means you hit bottom, old son. There it is. So there's that little guy. Oh, buttery smooth. Buttery smooth. Wipe it off with a dirty rag. Okay, smear more dirt on it than you're wiping off. All right, let's make sure this side's all clean and good to go. I see no reason to not to. We're doing such a good job. Wipe this little guy out. Cleaned it off in the dirty water parts washer. New York compliant. No harmful chemicals come from our parts washer. With our $400 for 15-gallon mystery solvent. New York compliant. No hydrocarbons. Basically, single-handedly saving the polar bears. However, it seems to be counterproductive because we go through about 900 times more brake parts cleaner. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Ooh. Ooh, baby, I felt that. I felt that, he says. So we're gonna be ginger with this. We're gonna lightly persuade it down in there. It's already started. Just like that. And we've gone too far because you didn't have your pin lined up. I didn't think it was gonna go that easy. And he missed the hole again. Welcome to amateur hour, friends. We didn't miss that time, old son. We got her, boys. All right, we're in. See, that's why you can't clean that housing out with a, a whizzy wheel or anything, because once you got it, you got it. Like I say, all we used was emery cloth. A little piece of green one from your wife's sink. You know the one I'm talking about. So this does have some silicone down in this hole. Appears to be some clear. Look at those old corroded fingers, huh? That'll make a normal guy sick. Welcome to the world of psoriatic arthritis. And looks like some tub and towel caulk and or hot glue. So I just want to kind of scrape that out. Should have done it when the cleaning crew had it. Come on, baby. Slippery little stuff there. There. I think what we need to do now, we still have our one marked with a white paint marker. Or at least I put some paint marker back on one to make you think that we know which one it is. You never know on the YouTubes what's really happening behind the scenes. What I would do, if it were me, I wouldn't put anything on this because it doesn't really matter. But we can see from the factory they had just a little dab of something on here, which we're not going to be able to scrape off. I think the rubber is going to seal just fine on its own. But for the sake of making a YouTube video, maybe we'll put a little something on it. Yeah, let's put just a dab of like Ultra Gray on there. Seems kind of silly, but cannot get the factory stuff off here. I don't see any of it on the side of this rubber. It's just like it was on the face of it. Rubber fits that hole pretty snug. But let's be safe. You guys know how it is. Safety first. We'll open this up a new tube of the Permatex, part number 27036. Or if you're buying it from Napa, it's a totally different number that's hidden somewhere here on the back. I don't know where. Doesn't matter. Use the cap, poke the hole, put on the tip, just the tip. 32.5 degree angle is the proper angle to cut that at. Nothing more, nothing less. A very light squeeze. Get a little bit up on the edge for good measure. And there we are. That's it. Now throw that tube in the garbage because next time you need it, it'll be hard as a rock. And those are just facts. Spitting out facts is what we do. Alright, we got that pulled through. Wires are pulled through, silicone all over them, or RTV sealant, I'm not sure. Rest assured we will be corrected in the comment section. We cleaned off the connector. We've got our little white mark in there, down in the corner. That's where this little guy came from. Line it up, click it in. Wrong way, fella. Pull out, flip it around. That's all you can do. There's that. Both of those are in. Need a little plastic retainer for the middle. Hang on to that. Wipe any evidence off it that you have on it. Hope it goes this way. Felt like it did. It clicked in. So there we are. We're all clicked in. Bend it back around. Look at that. Would you look at that? Hope the whole mess stays together is the other thing you got to do. I use quite a long bolt for holding this little bracket on. There's that. Grab your torque wrench. Number 1 on the Uggy Duggy setting. Just up. That's it. Right there. That's all she wrote. That's all you needed. Grab a new hanky. Oh, you hear that? Now we've got to try to put this on without destroying it. Oh boy, I don't want to destroy you, but I will. Oh, Eric, how are you gonna do this live on YouTube? I don't think we can hit on the outside edge. I don't think that would be advisable. I think if somebody came to me and said, I need some advice, I would say, I don't think that's advisable. Right? I don't... You've done this before, fella. What did you do? You probably didn't do it on camera, that's what. That's probably how you did it. Off camera. Let me get a little chunk of brass. We need a piece of pipe. Wonder. Let's just try gingerly tapping it on the outside here. I don't like it. I don't like how that feels. I don't like how it feels to me. Frick. I kind of liked how that felt. No, I didn't. You're really starting to piss me off. Why does a deflector have to be so tight? All it does is deflect. It deflects my attempts to put it on, is what it's doing. Mother. Don't make me get nasty. Oh, that's what you gotta do. You gotta get a little nasty with it. Oh, that's all you gotta do. Call it bad names. Alright, it looks like we're flush all the way around there, but it does need to go down more. So now that it's started, let's try this. Oh yeah. Somehow I think by turning the housing it's helping me, but use your head. Use your head, dude. I'm gonna go down just a whisper more over here. I can see the old rust ring where it was. I don't know if you can go too far and have it hit the housing. That's what we want to make sure that we're not doing. I see that exposed rust. The side's going to come down here. Whoa, a lot of things happening here. Oh my gosh. Using my micrometer, it appears to be exactly where it needs to be. Oh, that looks good, man. I mean, real good. Give it a little blow on there for good luck. That spot there is just a whisker low. See, the thing is, if she takes this to the car show and they see that side down just a tiny bit, I don't know if she'll lose points for it or not. I'm not going to stand between a homeschooling mom and a 14th place trophy at the Toyota Sienna car show, though. I'll tell you that. Things could get nasty. I'm going to finish cleaning this off a little bit with a whizzy wheel. I'll stuff this thing back in there. Everything is cleaned up. Now there is a couple washers that sit in here. There's a flat washer that goes in first. It looks very similar to this flat washer. And then there is the curvy washer. or some people call it the Belleville washer. Mr. Belleville. And I put them in, flat washer first, then your classic Belleville, and they're gonna go like that. So one side is convex, one side is concave. I don't know the difference between either side because I didn't pay attention in school. I just know the terminology. But you put it in, flat washer, and then put your Belleville washer so it's humpied this way. I don't know if it makes a difference, but you can see the old witness marks on there. That's the best I can tell you. What's up, Mrs. O? You need me?
Yeah, I just have a quick question.
I'll pause the camera. So we're gonna put a little smear of Ultra-Gray on here. Now this is the very tight fitting seal, so you don't need to go hog wild. You could probably use like Permatex anaerobic sealer or something if you wanted to. So we put just a very light smear on there. We'll smear around with our nub. We have a very light layer on there. I'm going to get our coupler here. I've got that in my hands, and then you've got to work kind of quick because we didn't drain the differential. Flat washer, Belleville washer. Straight up on there. Make sure everything is super duper clean. Flip it together. Got dowel pins. Get it lined up. Like that. What we'll do is we'll have to grab our torque wrench here. Alright, we'll grab the torque wrench for realty, torque it to factory specs. Now that it is torqued to spec, connectors plug back in, vent tube is hooked back up. Skid plate here. This piece of rubber fell off. We're going to leave it off because all it does is collect corrosion. We'll stick a little skiddy back up on here. Right there. We have our torque wrench for that. Alright, and they are torqued to factory specs. It is one Uggy Duggy on those. Everything looks good here. See if we can't slip that baby back in. Not doing any types of damage. I think they come off a little easier than they go in. We're so close right there. Ta-da! So make sure you're not prying against your new dust slinger there when you do that. Get that lined up. Easy peasy. Then what we have to do, from the looks of the pan on the ground, is we need to fill it back up with oil. Goes in that hole right there. We'll have to look it up. Looks like just regular synthetic gear oil to me. Looks quite clean. Smells like synthetic oil. Anyways, synthetic oil has quite a unique smell to it. I think it smells like grapes. Synthetic grapes, obviously, not real grapes. You know, like grape flavoring. Grape essence, I guess it would be. There's that there. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. The Ugga Dugga gun is set in wuss bag mode just in case anybody's getting all wound up down there. Alright, let me go get the actual torque specs. And obviously, torque that to factory specs. Rear end's full. Takes regular gear oil, 75, 85. Toyota, it said. Make sure no parts fall. Choking on a peanut. There, I can breathe again. Let's see, I didn't take you guys for a drive before because it's quite difficult to hear on the camera. You'd get it to, I think, I want to say it was like between 50 and 60, somewheres in there. You'd get the frequency just right and it was quite noticeable. Of course, with this camera, every little noise, so everything you get near sounds like the motor's ready to blow up, and every car sounds like it has 4 bad wheel bearings. A 160 on the car. I think I might have said 180. 160, 373. Yeah, it was usually about here, about this speed right here. You'd get it just right and it would really ring through the car. Parts falling off or any smoke behind us, so that's good. I think this lady will be happy. Parking spots as usual. That's it, folks. I gotta go like this because I was just eating chocolate covered cashews and they're all stuck in my braces. Get past it. That's it. Viscous coupler, easy to do. You do it in your driveway, 15-20 minutes. Common hand tools and a couple napkins. But in all seriousness, it is an easy job to do, but be cautious. Like I say, inside that housing, don't go in there with sandpaper or anything aggressive. Just get the sponge off the sink that has a little green scrubby on it and just, get the corrosion out of there. That's all I did. As you can see, it fits together very precisely. You gotta wiggle it like that. And that's it. And if you want to change the other bearing, do it. Anytime I've ever done these on various makes and models, it's always the outside bearing. It's the one towards the drive shaft. I don't know the rhyme or reason of it. Don't pretend to. It's just the one that goes bad. And I don't know why Toyota doesn't list this in service data, or why you can't call the parts department and say, hey, I need the bearings for the Viscous coupler. They'll just tell you. They don't make it. They make the deflector, and then they make the whole housing. But I don't know. That's that. Hope it helps. Don't know what year it fits, anything like that. You guys figure that out. And while you're figuring that out, go down and leave a comment or a concern or question you have. Insta, Facebook, you guys know where to find us. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.